Hello everyone, my name is Priyanka Singh and today we will discuss about human digestive system. System. What is system? Say, system is a group of something. Say if we say computer system, then there are some components, some members like mouse, keyboard, CPU, all together work to perform some such specific function. Similarly, in human body, there are so many organs which are combinedly work together to perform a specific function, and when they are combined to work a specific function, they produce a system, and one of these system is digestive system. Here in our bodies, some organs combine together to perform a digestion process, and that system is known as digestive system. What is digestion process? So have you ever thought that what happens with the food after you eat it? What happens with that food inside our body, how it can be digested in our body, which type of organs responsible for that digestion, and which type of glands are responsible for that digestion. So digestion is a process in which the complex component of food break down to a simpler components which can be absorbed by our body, because we have to work, and for that work we have to gain some energy, and for that energy we have to eat food. So food ultimately convert itself into energy which can be used by our body for performing any type of functions or any type of work. See, if I am talking, then my tongue, my lips are working. So there are some kind of energy inside them. So from where this energy come? This energy came from the food that I eaten. Okay. So digestion is the process of breaking down food into simpler substances that can be absorbed by the body. There is some process through which food gets digested by our body. So, if you look upon this diagram, so digestion starts from mouth. Okay, this is mouth. So, mouth, after that, the food which we take inside comes to food pipe. This is food pipe. When we eat some food, say this is the food. First of all, food comes in mouth, and after that it comes into food pipe, then in stomach, then in small intestine. This is a small intestine, and after that it comes to large intestine. This is large intestine, and then it is ejected from the body from anus. Okay, so this is the process of digestion takes place in our body. So there is two main concepts which are involved in the whole process of digestion. First is alimentary canal. What is alimentary canal? Alimentary canal is a whole pathway, through which our food is digested by some organs. These are the organs which are included in alimentary canal. This alimentary canal is 32 feet long, and this all pathway from which the foods completely digested by our body is known as alimentary canal. Alimentary canal consists of mouth, food pipe, stomach, small intestine. This small intestine named as small, but actually it is longest in this alimentary canal, the longest part. Small intestines is about 6 meter long. Interesting, right? And then large intestine, named as large intestine, but it is small as compared to small intestine. And then anus. So these are the components of alimentary canal. And the second concept which includes in digestive system is digestive glands. These digestive glands are surrounded around these alimentary canal. So this is a gland known as liver, and with liver, gallbladder is another organ which is attached. Liver produce a substance, produce a juice, that is bile juice, which is gets stored in gallbladder. This is another digestive gland, that is pancreas. So these type of glands are surrounding the alimentary canal, which helps in the digestion. So what kind of digestive glands found there? Salivary gland. In our mouth, where the digestion starts, salivary glands are there. These salivary glands secretes saliva, and in that saliva there is some enzyme, amylase enzyme, which are responsible for the digestion of the starch. Starch is a form of carbohydrate. Next is gastric gland. These gastric gland found inside our stomach. And when the food comes to our stomach, these gastric glands release some enzymes which are helpful to digest the food inside the stomach. Then liver. As I told you, liver is also a gland which is responsible for the production of the bile juice, which is also helpful in the digestion of the food. And then pancreas. Pancreas is also a digestive gland. And then intestinal gland. So in these small intestine, there are some glands which are situated in the small intestine, which is also helpful in the digestion of the food. So these two concepts involved in the human digestive system. From these two concepts, the whole food gets digested inside our body. Remember, there are some components inside our food which only digested by our human digestive system, that is carbohydrate, fat and protein. Only these components are digested by human body. Water, minerals and vitamins are not digested by this digestive system because they are so small they can directly be absorbed by our body. Remember, as I told you, digestion is a breakdown of the complex components of the food into simpler components. So these are already in their simpler form. That water, minerals and vitamin, they are so small, they are found in their simpler form that it can directly be absorbed by our body. So water, minerals and vitamins are not digested by our digestive system. It can directly be absorbed by our body. And only carbohydrate, protein and fat, which are the components of the food, only these are digested by our human digestive system. Digestion is a physiochemical process. It is a physiochemical process. Why it is physiochemical process? Because it starts from a physical process, that is mechanical process, that is by our teeth. When teeth crushes the food, and after that the different enzymes mix with that crushed food and gets digested by our body. So it is a physiochemical process. Physio means that physical process which is done by our teeth mechanically, and chemical when all the organs release enzymes which are chemicals which are responsible for the digestion of food. So it is combinedly physiochemical process. Let's start with the digestion process with one by one all the organs. First of all, we have mouth. Inside the mouth there is teeth which firstly crushes the food, and after crushing the food there is salivary gland inside our mouth, where salivary gland has enzymes, that is amylase, and this enzyme is helpful in the digestion of the starch. Starch is a kind of carbohydrate, and after mouth, when food comes into food pipe, then food pipe pushes the food down to the stomach and further, and there is a kind of motion by which it pushes the food pipe pushes the food down is known as peristalsis movement. This peristaltic movement is a wave-like motion. Say, this is a food pipe, and this food pipes pushes the food like this. So, can you see? This type of motion is known as peristaltic motion. It pushes the food in the wave-like motion, and this motion helps the food gets down to the stomach. Okay, next organ is stomach. When food comes to stomach, inside the stomach there is acidic environment. So inside our stomach, acidic environments are there. And which acid is responsible for that acidic environment? That is hydrochloric acid. There is hydrochloric acid present in the stomach, and this hydrochloric acid helps in the digestion of the food as well as detoxifying the bacteria inside the food. When we eat some junk food and some unhealthy food, then most of the bacteria are cancelled out by or neutralized by the HCl present in the stomach. HCl is what? Hydrochloric acid. And there is another function which are carried out inside the stomach is the digestion of protein. There is some enzyme known as pepsin enzyme which is responsible for the digestion of the protein which takes place inside the stomach. Next we have small intestine. When after the stomach food comes into small intestine, inside so small intestine, there is a gland which is called liver, which is attached to the small intestine, and the liver produces bile juice. That bile juice is helpful in the digestion of the fat. The liver produces bile juice which gets stored in the gallbladder, which is also attached with the liver itself. And when the food comes into small intestine, bile juice is secreted from the liver into small intestine where the digestion of the fat takes place. And along with the liver, there is another gland, that is pancreas, is also attached to the small intestine and stomach. It is between the stomach and small intestine. This pancreas releases digestive enzyme into the small intestine. This pancreas releases the digestive enzyme into small intestine. These digestive enzymes are trypsin, amylase and lipase. You can learn all three enzymes with the mnemonic TAL, that is T for trypsin, A for amylase and L for lipase. These all three enzymes are responsible for the digestion of carbohydrate, protein and fat. After that, what happens in the small intestine? See, this is the most important part in the digestive system, the small intestine. The final digestion and absorption of nutrients inside the blood happens in the small intestine. So, final digestion plus absorption of the nutrients into the blood. Small intestines are divided into three parts. See, as I told you, the small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal, and this small intestine divided into three parts. First part is duodenum. Here, in the duodenum, digestion takes place. And the other two parts of small intestine are jejunum and ileum. This jejunum and ileum responsible for the absorption of the nutrients of the food inside the blood. After the digestion and absorption in the small intestine, there is a part that is large intestine. The food comes into large intestine. That food is undigested food. The large intestine absorb water from that undigested food, and from that undigested food it forms solid waste. The feces, the solid waste which are produced in the large intestine, it is finally removed from our body as a waste from anus. This is the anus. This anus is responsible for the removal of the undigested and toxic food from outside our body. So this is how the food is completely digested inside our human body. So we have discussed about the human digestive system, in which we have discussed that digestion process, that is the breakdown of the complex components of the food into simpler components, and our body gains some energy, and our body converts that food component into energy, and that energy can be fed by our body. We have also discussed that this digestion process completes by the two concepts, that is alimentary canal and digestive glands. Alimentary canal consists of all the organs: mouth, food pipe. Food pipe is also known as esophagus. That is the another name for the food pipe. So food pipe, stomach, small intestine, large intestine and anus, and digestive gland consist of liver, pancreas, gastric gland, salivary gland which is inside the mouth, and these glands are also responsible for the digestion. And we have also discussed that all the functions of the organs inside our human digestive system, and this is how the food which we take inside our body and gets digested by this journey. So I hope you understood this topic. Thank you very much.